Stop killing games! I'm on my third cup of coffee. I'm right smack dab in the middle of Insano mode. Let's go! Pirate Software has responded! And this is the situation that is developing into a drama situation. Let's go!
I have no doubt most of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months I've been a lot happier. Glowing, really, radiant. You can tell probably just from my voice alone. And
is that an American Eagle shirt? I don't think I've seen American Eagle since I was in high school, like 15 years ago. Wait, I wasn't in high school 15 years ago. 12 years ago.
This striking smile. So what is the secret to this newfound happiness of mine? The one trick doctors don't want you to know? I haven't been online as much. I've been going outside.
Actually, me being online, reading all this hate, reading all the craziness that's going on in the world, makes me happy. Because we're getting closer and closer and closer to the end. And I can't wait to go home.
Far more frequently, spending time in the real world. And as such, I'm sure many of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months, internet drama hasn't been a huge focal point of the channel because I haven't seen a whole bunch of it.
That, and also, I remember what happened. You got yourself into a Hasan Piker situation, and you lost against Hasan Piker. Like, how do you do that? That's when he was like, oh shit, well, maybe I don't know as much about the political space, I'm gonna have to get out of here. And good, I'm glad he did. He didn't need to be in that political drama space. He's not very good at it.
I haven't kept up with the vast majority of it. And of course, occasionally I've still dipped my tootsies in some of it, like if there's something particularly wacky going on.
Like Ethan Klein suing those 3 women, I think? At least 2 out of 3 are women. I'm not sure about that Casey Tron chick. Could be a dude, could be a chick. I'm just saying chick. Because definitely presenting as a chick. They're getting sued by Ethan Klein. It's fucking amazing.
And I still cover, like, news and crazy shit going on with aliens and all of that kind of thing, or if there's like a really cringe, prankster that got arrested or something, I'll still talk about that. But it's not like a fixation for me like it used to be over the last few years where I was covering any and all internet creator space hoopla. And I want to keep it that way. I'm having a lot more fun not doing that. That being said, there is something that has unfolded here that's like the John Wick killing the dog moment that's bringing me back, just very temporarily. And it's Pirate Software. Yesterday I talked about Stop Killing Games. And there's no way to talk about Stop Killing Games without also mentioning Pirate Software because of the profound effect he has had on that initiative in its demise. I say demise, but it's not actually fully cooked, but it has been on life support, and Pirate Software did play a big role in that because of 2 videos he made, as well as a stream, shitting all over it.
Yeah, and really stupid people thought that he was smarter than the people who came up with the whole initiative. Like, there are people who rally around people like Pirate Software who pretend that they're smarter than everybody else, and they actually think that people like Pirate Software are smarter than everybody else. It's actually insane whenever I talk shit about somebody like that, and I'm saying true things, real things, or things that I believe that are true, and I just get completely shit all over, especially when I talk about Hasan. And they all say the same things. And it's never I'm wrong. I might like get 1 or 2 out of 500 comments that are telling me I'm wrong. Usually it's just straight up insults. Which I love it. I love seeing it. I love it when people insult me. Especially when they're funny. Oh, if they give me a funny one, boy, I'll roll with it. Somebody told me that I look like Eric Foreman mixed with Joe Dirt, and I fucking love it. I'll take it.
And that's not even doing it justice. He was full-blown tooting on this. He was shitting on it with some fart on top. And a lot of what he was saying about Stop Killing Games wasn't accurate. It was a misrepresentation of the initiative. And the guy behind it, the guy spearheading it, Ross, finally set the record straight on a lot of the misconceptions that Pirate Software helped to put out there and kind of exacerbate these thought processes that just weren't accurate for what the initiative was actually aiming to do. He finally set the record straight, and I, of course, wanted to talk about it as someone who does actually care about it. Now, as I've said, I've been a little more on.
Does he admit that he's wrong? Or does he double down? Or does he say that everybody is misrepresenting his words, even though we saw what he was saying clear as day? It was pretty clear what he was saying.
Off the grid, I bought a fucking farm, so I've been, living off the Lord's land recently, and I've missed a lot of the internet happenings. So Pirate Software's previous anime arcs of drama, like with World of Warcraft and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that.
Yeah, they're all bullshit. Like, I actually don't care. I do not care about video game internet drama. That shit's fake. There's, like, when it comes to corporate stuff, I'll talk about that. When it comes to people, like, actually fighting about things that I care about, not just about how you play a game, like, get that shit out of here. I don't care about that shit.
And the one after that, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. I only got little tiddlywinks, little morsels of lore about it in a few clips, so I never really even understood what was going on there. So Pirate Software's response to everything that happened yesterday really caught me by surprise. That was a subversion of my expectations, bigger than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Yeah, Hutcher, I did. I think it's really hilarious to me that that entire community is so butt mad at me for putting out a video 10 months ago about their stuff.
Yeah. Oh, this is old news, guys. We've moved on from that. Like, oh yeah, I was wrong about it, but we've moved on. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here with that.
And then not being refuted, and now it's my fault that everything is going
Bro, why you bringing up old shit? That's what he's saying.
wrong for them.
I cannot believe his ego. His ego is so out of control, I feel like he's only a week or two away from exclusively referring to himself in third person. Like,
Bro, like, so many people are coming against this guy. Even, like, the biggest YouTubers are going against this guy right now because he's such a massive douchebag.
Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin. And that's the truth, cause Pirate Software said so. Some shit like that. It's crazy how he's responded. The smugness is nails on a chalkboard. It just makes you feel icky listening to it.
Yeah, he thinks he's smarter than everybody else. Probably not everybody in the world, but when it comes to the gaming space, he probably thinks that he's on top. That he's big shit, big brain. Sitting up there on the throne.
And he goes on that same talking point multiple times in the clip about how, like, oh, I guess I'm fully to blame. I guess because I made those videos 10 months ago, it's my fault entirely that this whole thing crashed and burned. Yep. Oh boy. Time to play a sad song on the world's smallest violin for the Stop Killing Games movement. All because Big Bad Pirate Software took it all down by himself. Like, it's crazy. No one's saying that. Like, there is no one out there that is saying it is entirely Pirate Software's fault that Stop Killing Games.
Yeah, you were the biggest creator against Stop Killing Games. Of course everybody's gonna talk about you, talk about this. Fucking ridiculous. Every single time drama comes up with this guy, he's never wrong. He's always right about everything. His side is the only good side. There's no nuance. This dude's, yeah, Charlie is right. This dude's ego is out of control.
Hasn't been more successful in its endeavors. But there's irrefutable evidence that you had a detrimental effect, a majorly damaging effect on Stop Killing Games because of your misinformation that you spread about it in 2 videos and across all your streams, and not once have you bothered to correct that record. And he has said that it hasn't been refuted in 10 months. That is fish paste. That is turbo horseradish. Go to your own comment section on your videos to see everyone refuting you, as well as the innumerable other gamers and voices out there.
I think that Pirate Software is going to end up destroying his normal audience. All the normal people that watch him, they're going to leave over stupid shit like this. You're going to divide the people, man. When you make dumb decisions, say dumb shit, the smart people leave. And you're going to be left with a whole bunch of weirdos in an echo chamber where they're all sniffing your farts and telling you, yes, you are the greatest. You are the smartest. I will bow down to you, Pirate Software.
That have taken down those talking points and debunked a lot of them and proven that you just didn't understand it. And that is the big problem. No one hates Pirate Software because he doesn't agree with Stop Killing Games. The reason so many people are angry at him, myself included here, you can disagree with the movement all you want. If you don't like the initiative, I'm not your fucking dad. You make your own choices there. But the reason so many people, myself included, do not like how Pirate Software is handling all this is he is outright refusing to just admit any level of fault. That
every single time. This is a complaint people have. Every time he's in a situation, even when it is his fault or partially his fault, he relinquishes all blame. The World of Warcraft situation, not his fault at all. it was everybody else's fault. Even though, no, it was 100%. Well, okay. It was 100%, 50% his fault. Like, definitely he played an equal part in that whole drama, and it was fucking stupid.
He was wrong about anything. And that couldn't be more clear from these clips as well as his tweets that he's made. It's actually his tweets that really sent me off the fucking rails here, off my gourd. Let's start with this little nugget here that he deleted from last night. So he tweeted directly at Ross, the guy behind Stop Killing Games, talking about how he made those videos 10 months ago, and since then, his community has been nothing but hateful. A scourge, a fucking tyrannid threat that he must destroy. Your community is fucking rabid, and it's shit to deal with for anyone on the other side of the argument. Why do you think I haven't talked about this shit in 10 months? Why do you think we auto-mute anyone bringing it up in chat? Because it's been rage bait and shit flinging the entire time.
You're literally, what you're doing is, you're censoring criticism because you think that you're right about everything. Because you're big shit, big brain.
And just goes on about like how he is the victim of Ross's toxic, terrible community, which is hilariously hypocritical.
Yeah, like seriously, dude. You fucking reacted to it, and your community went after it. I'm going insane. It's like I'm constantly feeling like I'm in backwards world, where everybody's either lying or they're just completely stupid.
Coming from Pirate Software, when in his videos and his streams, he makes it very clear and is very rude about how much he dislikes not only Ross, but the movement. And it's not like he's being very professional and polite about it, you know, buttoned up. Listen to it.
So this was my first encounter of him.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
What a garbage piece of shit. I didn't even know that this happened. I didn't know this was a thing. Holy fucking shit, Pirate Software. You are an actual, like, piece of garbage. I think he's a corporate shill. I think he's been bought and paid for. Honestly. And this dude, like, came out of nowhere, too, by the way. Like, he was a small creator and then suddenly blew up. What happened there?
That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No. Eat my entire ass. That the level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage.
Reasons the Eki could pass. Politicians like easy wins. Politicians mostly don't care about video games. The law is already unclear on this practice. The initiative is in line with other consumer policies. It's a diversion from more serious topics. What is he talking about here? Why is he against this? Because this is true.
All of this can eat shit then. I drop the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Ross and his community that are actually the assholes here. Brother, come on, you can't possibly be calling the wambulance with a side of french fries here about people being mean to you when you are literally the one that started the shit-flinging and name-calling. And by the way...
That's because, here, you want to know a little fact about Pirate Software? He's actually a weirdo leftist freak. Have you seen his Discord? It's full of gay furries. He himself is a gay furry. You should see the last drama that I covered with Pirate Software, where he was actually trying to be in a relationship with a gay furry. Like, which I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, there's a fucking pattern here of him being an insane liar, calling everybody else an asshole. I thought I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought maybe he just misunderstood. I actually think he might be lying because he is a corporate shill. I wouldn't be surprised if he's being paid or being propped up by some giant company because he's a leftist woke freak. Not sorry. He can go fuck himself because I didn't know about him crashing out being an asshole. I just thought, I've only seen the stuff where he's explaining stuff. I've never seen him insult the dude over things that he didn't understand or didn't agree with. Pirate Software, I mean. fucking ridiculous.
Ross never even addressed this for 10 months because he didn't want to dilute the initiative into just having it be boiled down to drama between creators, which I think was actually very big of him. The only reason he's talking about it now is because it's at the end of its life, and so many people still don't understand it because of someone like Pirate Software misrepresenting it. So he's finally setting the record straight there. Anyway, he did delete that tweet, but just a little while ago, he made a new tweet, a very long tweet, as well as a series of tweets under it in regards to this whole thing. And in all these words, all this mumbo jumbo, not once does he say he was wrong about anything. In fact, he just continues to double down, even proudly stating he is doubling down. Wow, how incredibly noble, doubling down on things you are provably, blatantly wrong about.
Yeah, he's a corporate shill. 100%. No doubt. He's on the side of AAA companies. Because none of this matters for indies, AA, and retro games. They're all fine. They all do this perfectly fine. It's the AAA companies that we have a problem with. And that's who he's siding with. Because they don't have the resources. Think about the developers. Fucking ridiculous. By the way, I'm not actually mad. I'm kind of playing it up. I'm also on a lot of coffee, so I'm kind of in insano mode right now. But I actually am like wholeheartedly against everything that is Pirate Software now. He is wholeheartedly against this. It can eat his whole ass. He can eat my whole ass.
You don't need to hit the Jumbotron for the replay on yesterday's video going over so many of the things that he was incorrect about in regards to the initiative. But the point is, that is an issue that I really thought that he would address. Be like, hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong. You're right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to misrepresent it.
He can never be wrong, though. Even if he knows in the back of his mind, he's like, shit, I was wrong about that, but I can't let people know that I'm wrong, or they won't see me as the smartest guy on earth anymore.
Still don't fully agree with it, but I do recognize that I had some errors here in my coverage. That's what I was expecting. That is not what we got. And it prompted me to reach out directly to him, to talk to him, to see, like, why isn't he acknowledging that? Is there a reason? Like, what is going on there? So I did. He made it very clear he was not very happy with my coverage of Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private conversation, but the point of me reaching out to him was to talk about his refusal to acknowledge that he did, maybe unintentionally, misrepresent Stop Killing Games, and it led to a just shy of 2 hours, like, circular argument that ultimately got us nowhere. He was more focused on his qualms with Stop Killing Games and really liked to challenge me to prove him wrong about some of his hang-ups with it. And when I would mention, like, the behavior aspect, like, hey, you did misrepresent it, and I'd give him a timestamp, he'd then instead say how I'm wrong for thinking that he misrepresented it. We got nowhere. So I want to just publicly...
Well, you don't go against the Moist Man. That's about it for Pirate Software. I think he's done for. I think he's absolutely fucked. With the current heads of the gaming space online, Pirate Software has soured himself in these conversations. I think he's out. I think he's out.
Say this again. There are plenty of things you can disagree with when it comes to the Stop Killing Games initiative. I'll put links to it if you want to learn more about it, and you can form your own opinions on it if you want to support it. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's super normal. And I didn't reach out to try and champion that Pirate Software should become, you know, a huge ambassador of Stop Killing Games, you know, out there on the fucking front lines fighting for it. It had nothing to do with that. It was simply about the misunderstanding that he showcased, maybe unintentionally, and the misrepresentation of it that he broadcast. Again, maybe unintentionally. Which has, in turn, over the course of 10 months, misled people on what the fuck Stop Killing Games even is in the first place.
He just dropped an F-bomb. That was the first one of the whole video, I think.
Which I found to be a problem because he's never even acknowledged that as something that has happened. And because he refuses to acknowledge that, and anyone that even, like, tiptoes around that subject, he kind of treats as though they're fucking idiots, like me, for thinking that he's misrepresented something.
Everybody is an idiot except for me. God damn, Pirate Software. You fucking love to see somebody crash out that hard. He is destroying everything. Congratulations, Pirate Software. You fucking played yourself.
Now, he did just post a tweet where he said he talked to me and Josh Strife Hayes, and in that tweet, this will prove how useless our conversation was, unfortunately, There's not a single peep about misrepresenting what Stop Killing Games was about. It's more so about how the public just doesn't understand game development, and it kind of reads to me like we're all just too stupid to understand it from his side of things. Our conversation basically amounted to toilet paper, unfortunately. Again, I was focused on...
Even brought in Josh Strife Hayes, and you got Asmongold talking about it, you got Tectone talking about it, you got so many people talking about it right now. And nobody thinks that Pirate Software is in the right. I don't understand what the fuck he's doing.
You have done this, maybe unintentionally. You should at least say that you have, or like, you know, are you aware that you did this? And then it became more of like, nope, I didn't. You're wrong. And then he uses our conversation at the start of this for something that was not even the focus. I was not there to try and convince him to be part of Stop Killing Games. I don't think we made any ground on, like, his perspective versus mine on Stop Killing Games. He has some qualms about how difficult it would be in certain cases. I agree with that, for sure. I still think overall Stop Killing Games is a net positive.
How difficult it would be for who? For who? I don't give a shit if we're sitting here talking about giant AAA companies. They can figure it the fuck out. They make enough money, record profits year on year. They can figure it the fuck out.
For the gaming industry, where something desperately needs to change with a lot of these awful practices. But for the 10 millionth time in the last 2.5 hours, it was just about him having this awareness that his coverage did mislead people, and that he, maybe not maliciously or anything, misunderstood or misrepresented Stop Killing Games in numerous instances. And the way that he talked about Ross was unacceptable. That at least made it into the tweet there about the way he talked about Ross being like a fucking used car salesman type deal and like calling everything about it ass. He at least recognized that that was too harsh. So he gave a quick I'm sorry for that, which is good. I do appreciate that, and I'm sure Ross will appreciate that as well, I imagine.
Yeah, that whole thing was literally just Pirate Software sticking his head up his own ass. Because he was looking at things that a smart guy was doing and was like, oh, smart guy thinks he's so smart. Actually, I am smarter. So I am not about this at all. You have to be just as smart as me about things. Even though he's one of the dumbest people that I've ever seen. Unless he's just a manipulative liar. Which I'm starting to lean toward.
But I still wanted to make this video after the conversation because I just really do not understand. I truly cannot wrap my head around why he fights tooth and nail coming for throats for anyone that tries to mention that there was misrepresentation in his coverage of the Stop Killing Games initiative.
Because he is a AAA corporate shill. That is the only thing that I can muster up in my brain.
He is so hell-bent on proving he's right and everyone else is wrong that's saying these things. I just don't get it. He's just treating it like he's got the mega mind, once-in-a-generation galaxy brain that no one can possibly understand. All us plebeians are beneath him, and we're lucky that he even graces us with streams, and we're stupid for thinking that he did anything wrong here in regards to his coverage of Stop Killing Games and what it's actually about. It's just so odd to me. Because if he would just come out and be like, yeah, you know what? Looking back on it, really reflecting, hearing what you guys are saying, I can see why this was so misleading for so many people. I didn't mean for it.
He could literally come out and just say, I was wrong about everything. Here's the petition. Here's the link. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm out of this whole drama situation. Stop talking about it. And then everybody will move on. Everybody will forget about it. If he just say, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. We're moving on. Don't talk about it no more. We're done with this. And everybody would be happy. But no. He just wants to shill for AAA corporate bullshit companies.
To be, and yeah, maybe I misunderstood some of these things. This would not have been nearly as big of a deal as it has turned into. And I would...
That's like every drama situation he's ever in. He always makes it a bigger deal than it was gonna be because he just cannot admit fault on anything.
I went back and looked at some of his previous dramas, I suppose, and that is a common thread with Pirate Software. Like in World of Warcraft, he made a mistake, but he completely refused to acknowledge the mistake, and it made it a much bigger snowball into an avalanche for him, which led to a ton of other problems. He just has this inability to, like, accept that he can make mistakes. Like, he does things wrong sometimes, and he needs to recognize...
No, he doesn't. He does everything perfectly because he is the smartest man on Earth. You just don't understand because you're not smart enough. Not smart enough is not as smart as big shit, big brain.
Recognize that it's okay to be like, yeah, I did do that wrong. You're right. I was incorrect in this. And it would save so much of a headache. But he just comes across as a narcissist.
He is a narcissist. 100% he's a narcissist. And he is a woke leftist freak.
He really does, unfortunately. Like, I'm not an armchair Reddit psychologist here going to diagnose him as a narcissist or anything, but like, that's what it comes across as. He just refuses to admit that he ever does anything incorrectly. It admits no faults of his own, ever. Except, I suppose, to Ross here, which maybe this...
Like, even if it wasn't his fault in that World of Warcraft situation, he could have just been like, well, shit, my bad, guys. Even, like, if it wasn't his fault. That's something that I would do. If everybody was blaming me for a thing, I'd be like, oh shit, I guess I'm just a terrible player, fuck. But he wants to be the best player of World of Warcraft because he worked for Blizzard. Remember that? Remember when he worked for Blizzard? Fucking ridiculous.
This is the beginning of a big character development for Pirate Software. He did apologize to Ross for how he treated him and what he said about him. I think that's great. Would love to see that same kind of energy for understanding where people like myself are coming from with your coverage of Stop Killing Games and why people feel the way they do about what's happened since with your responses.
Bro's just gonna have to stop giving opinions on things if he can't stop lying and manipulating and then doubling down because he can't admit fault. Like, he'll just have to stop talking about his opinions or he's just gonna destroy his whole channel. He's gonna destroy his whole little empire he's got going on. That little island that he has made for himself.
But anyway, I won't keep yapping about it. That's really about it. So yeah.
Yeah, this whole situation is fucking stupid. Pirate Software is a moron. And a narcissist. And he's a leftist woke freak. And he's a it.